The question was who, the question was when, and it may be being answered right now with 9 to go. Here we go. Ryan Blaney dives down to the inside of the racetrack. Austin Dillon will join him. So will Joey Logano as they race back to 1.
9 laps to go and time to put the cards on the table. Ryan Blaney leads that inside line charge. He's got Austin Dillon and Joey Logano in tow. They're up to about the top 5.
But they need more help to get closer to the front. Only 3 cars on the bottom. As Dave mentioned, Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon, and Joey Logano. They are involved in a side-by-side battle for 5th.
And it's allowed the top 4 to break away just a bit, led by Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Kurt Busch, and Kyle Larson. Then the side-by-side racing begins with Ryan Blaney and Casey Kane.
9 cars in that outside lane. That's a lane no one could do anything with earlier this afternoon. Now it's working. That's the fast lane. Only 3 cars occupy the inside lane. The numbers don't match up, Dave.
No, it does not at all. The outside lane is now maybe the place to be. This entire track is in shadow. The temperature has dropped dramatically, and the high line, led by Chase Elliott, is the fast way.
Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., the top 2, they stay in single file formation, along with Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, and Casey Kane. They are the top 5 off the end of the Daytona Superstretch.
Behind them, you have Paul Menard, also single file, A.J. Allmendinger, Eric Almirola, Michael McDowell, and Joey Logano, followed by Ryan Blaney. That's the lead group as they come back off the corner.
When will Truex make Chase Elliott work for this victory? Right now, he is content to ride right behind the Napa Chevrolet. It won't last forever. 7 to go. Elliott, Truex, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Casey Kane.
Everybody for the moment continues to bide their time and ride single file just inches off that safer barrier. Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Kurt Busch, the top 3.
The move is going to come. The question is who will be the first to make it and when will it happen? Everybody, single file. No one stepping out of line. I'm sure developing plans to try to win the Great American Race.
Call it the calm before the storm. Right now, everybody's still single file except for Joey Logano. He pulls out of line but only has 1 car with him in Ryan Blaney.
In about 3 or 4 laps, something's got to happen. Somebody's got to move. They got to get out of line if they're going to make a pass and try to win this 500. And I know one thing. We see young Chase Elliott. He's not afraid to block. If that happens, he's going to put a big block in these guys. We'll have to see what happens after that gets done.
Sun is setting in Daytona Beach, and the tension is rising as we're getting down to it. Only 6 laps to go in the Daytona 500. Joey Logano breaks out of line. Down on the inside of the track, but has no help, Bagman.
He's side-by-side for the 7th position. He's racing alongside A.J. Allmendinger. He's only got Ryan Blaney behind him. He loses ground, and he loses Blaney, who gets back in line.
Blaney pulls back in line and now goes back to the bottom of the racetrack, does Ryan Blaney, but it's going to take more than 2 of them to get to the front of the field. Just Logano and Blaney on the bottom of the racetrack.
It is a 12-car draft working back to the stripe with 5 to go. Chase Elliott at the front end of the draft. Austin Dillon at the tail end of the draft. Then you've got Truex and Kurt Busch. Yeah, nothing's changed. They're racing back yet again into turn number 1.
Does anybody have car enough to pull out of line and challenge Chase Elliott? Truex, for the moment, stays in line, as does Kurt Busch, as does Kyle Larson.
Joey Logano still the only car on the bottom of the racetrack, trying to get somebody to go with him. Nobody wants to play ball. Meanwhile, it's turning into a 3-car breakaway at the front of the field with Elliott, Truex, and Kurt Busch.
Then about a car length and a half back to Kyle Larson. He runs in 4th. Casey Kane is in 5th. Paul Menard in 6th, A.J. Allmendinger. They're the front 7, all still single file.
Chase Elliott leads the Daytona 500. 4 laps to go. All seems well. He's at the head of the pack, but is all well in the fuel cell, Winston Kelly?
Well, everybody that we talked to gave me one of those put your finger and thumb together, forefinger and thumb together, and said they're very close, except for 2. Martin Truex Jr.'s crew and Kyle Larson said they could go the rest of the way. All the rest of them are in that boat. They could run out on the last lap.
Alex Hayden?
Kurt Busch, his crew chief Tony Gibson said they will not make it. They're a half a lap shy to make it to the distance. However, Casey Kane, he does have enough gas in the tank, Steve Post.
Eric Almirola, he will likely have to pit. They did not pit the last time, although they're going to try to stretch it. They're not coming in. And Michael McDowell, very close. Todd Parrott wouldn't tip his hand on it, but they're very close.
Kyle Larson dove out of line, went to the bottom of the racetrack. Nobody went with him, but he had enough speed. He pulled up in front of Kurt Busch. Larson now goes to 3rd, but Chase Elliott leads. 3 laps to go in the Daytona 500.
Kyle Larson back in line in position number 3. Joey Logano back at the tail end of the draft, still trying to go it alone. Lonesome Joey at the bottom of the racetrack, not making any ground.
Leaders coming up on more lap traffic. Chase Elliott continues to hug the outside wall. Martin Truex Jr. right in his wake. Oh, Truex going to look to the outside. He's there. Truex goes to the lead of the 500.
New race leader into turn number 3. Martin Truex Jr. takes the top spot away from Chase Elliott, who is all by himself on the bottom. Kyle Larson to second. Kurt Busch to third.
Hearing Chase Elliott is running low on fuel or out of gas as Martin Truex Jr. takes over the top spot in the Daytona 500. It's Truex, Kyle Larson, Kurt Busch, Casey Kane, and now Paul Menard.
Austin Dillon ran out of fuel last time by here in turn number 2. He will not make it to the finish. Here comes Kyle Larson. He'll dive to the bottom on Truex. Kyle Larson to the lead as they hit the back straightaway.
Kurt Busch steps to the outside of Truex. They're side by side for second as Truex now will lose third to Casey Kane. Joey Logano snuggles up right behind Truex as Kyle Larson is the new leader.
Larson goes to the point. Last lap, the race leader was Martin Truex Jr. He is back to a side-by-side battle for 5th. Here they come into turn number 4. Larson, the leader over Kurt Busch.
It's the Credit One Bank, 1 to go. The white flag is flying at Daytona. Who has enough fuel to get that car back around? Kyle Larson leads, then Kurt Busch, Casey Kane, Paul Menard, and A.J. Allmendinger. That's your top 5.
No fuel conservation now. It's mash the gas and make it roll. Larson the leader. Kurt Busch trying to go to the outside. Here comes Ryan Blaney. Blaney looking to go 3 wide up the middle. It's Kurt Busch to the lead on the backstretch.
Kyle Larson is out of gas. Kurt Busch goes to the lead. Ryan Blaney goes to second. They're 3 wide behind them. Up front, Kurt Busch leads the Daytona 500 to 3.
Kurt Busch all by himself at the front of the field, but will he make it back around? Has 3 car lengths over Kyle Larson and A.J. Allmendinger. Off of turn 4, it's Kurt Busch looking for the checker.
Kurt Busch leads the Daytona 500. He's never won before at Daytona, a former series champion. He will fix that today, winning the 59th edition of the Great American Race. Kurt Busch gets the win. Ryan Blaney comes across the line in second. It'll be A.J. Allmendinger, Eric Almirola, and Paul Menard, the top 5.
And we go to pit road to hear from the crew chief, Tony Gibson.
And that's him screaming. He is a Daytona Beach native.
Get you some of that!
Talking to his driver, his mom and dad still in there. He's grabbing and hugging me. Tony Gibson from Daytona Beach, you're a Daytona 500 champion, man.
Unbelievable! Holy cow, unbelievable! Wow, thank everybody, Stewart Haas Racing, Haas Monster Energy, everybody. What a race, Kurt Busch. My guys, I love everybody, NASCAR, everybody. Thank you so much. Woo!
Tony Gibson, the winning crew chief, affectionately calls everybody old man. There's going to be a heck of a party here in Daytona Beach, his hometown.
Get ready, Alex Hayden. You will be a part of it. The guy won the championship in 2004. That guy we're talking about is Kurt Busch at age 38 from Las Vegas, Nevada. Kurt Busch is a winner in the Daytona 500.
Are you kidding me? Justin, are you there?
Hell of a job there, driver. What a job, man. Proud as hell of you, bud.
I can't believe it. I love you guys. Thank you.
That is the winning moment, Kurt Busch, and he is celebrating right now. Oh, by the way, Monster Energy on the side of that Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series race car, the number 41, sitting smack dab in the middle of the Daytona logo right at the start-finish line. Now, you can be a part if you need your car in time deflate. Just order it online at advanceautoparts.com. Then pick it up at the store in just 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes. Talk about fast. Advance Auto Parts. Let's get you back on the road.